the biggest tournament in Africa gets done yesterday, where we saw the final of African Cup of Nations 2023 taking place between Ivory Coast and Nigeria. Who won it will be in person to give you the detailed information of what transpired yesterday night. And also in Europe, so many things happened. We saw Arsenal running riot over the Hammers, and also Barcelona dropping points against the team of Granada. Real Madrid thumping their rivals called Girona, and Inter Milan this time opened the points gap between themselves and all the ladies. And at the same time, the excitement all over Europe is all about the return of UEFA Champions League. This is whistle time that comes on your way from Mondays to Saturdays from the hour of 2 p.m. up to the hour of 3 p.m. It's a fresh week. Today is already 12th of Feb, and the year is 2024. And it's me, Benson Pastore, together with Owen Ezaga. Vividly, we'll be discussing about African Cup of Nations, how it went, how it came to conclusion, the awards. But before we proceed, I need to first ask my friend into the discussion. Owen, you are most welcome.
Thank you so much, Benson. Thank you, viewer. Of course, that's where I pick it from, and we'll be hosting probably in a way that I will feel the stories could be getting right interestingly. But one of the biggest thing is that Ivory Coast made the rightful decision. Sometimes don't fear to make risky decisions to achieve what you want, and exactly they did it to achieve what they exactly needed, and which has of course made them to go through or emerge the champions of that is the league. So it gives you an upper hand over what exactly you need to push as a businessman, as a business person, as a club, because you need to take risks, and that is one thing that I want to say is taking risk. But of course, the good news coming in from that is the Onduparaka side indicates that the players are getting back into training tomorrow, and that's also one big thing that you should be knowing right there. Though the team gets in to start the season, the second rounds are starting on 24th,
exactly.
So that gives chance to a lot of players probably to recover here and there. But there are a lot of things that are moving in from different angles, so you should be expecting big from that is the team of Onduparaka Football Club.
Yes, so many things continue to transpire in the world of sports. Before we talk about the African Cup of Nations finals, which was played yesterday night, and at the same time the third playoffs final between South Africa and DRC, let's kickstart our discussion within home. And teams already preparing for the reverse fixtures of Western Nile Regional League, more special teams from Nile Zone, not Nile Zone, rather Nyagak Zone. As yesterday we saw one game on the card. It was between Nebisendo and the team of Paida Black Angels. You can call them PBA in sort like that, and that game ended in a barren draw, a goalless draw. And according to the report we have got on ground, the purpose of that particular friendly was to see if the newly signed players can be able to fit into the system, and it ended in a barren draw. You look at the team of PBA, Paida Black Angels. This is a team which performed extremely wonderful in the first phase of the season, almost running it unbeaten, only losing one game. It was into the hands of Paida United, and also the counterpart they played a draw with yesterday. This team, they did beat it. They did beat the team by 2-0. I remember in the first encounter. Now playing a draw. Matthias, it's a friendly. Does it mean their vibe, their form is also going down for Paida Black Angels?
No. Paida is getting set for everything. Of course, first of all, if you play in Central, that is one of the things, like getting into solidarity, trying to build up the friendship. Yes. Remember, they had that with the team of Paida United, which sorted their issues, their differences, which had the issues of 1 or 2. You did see Paida having issue with Paida Black Angels, getting issues with Paida Black Angels, and that was not the best way. They were trying so much to see that they needed really to assemble things and work out right there. So which at hand helped a lot to see that the team played home and away peacefully. Played at home, and then we shall see the away bit of it, which will be a little bit, I feel, if the home was so peaceful like that, then of course away will also be one of the peaceful moments right there. So this is one thing that I want to say that, to me, I want to say that Paida is trying to do the right thing, because they want to go away from those things of hooliganism, those things of here than there. No, that's what they want to avoid. So it gives me an upper hand of saying that yes, this was a good initiative coming in there, and then assessing the players that they have bought or gotten on team list for the first time. This in the secondary transfer, primary transfer, we did see a lot of players that they got into their books, and this time round they're also looking forward to see that they need to put more onto that is their list. So it gives you an upper hand of what exactly Paida needs to do. But I think
yes,
they are focused. They want to go to the StarTimes Uganda Premier League, leave alone FIFA Big League, because when they come there, at least it will be a chance now to see that these issues of moving here and there will be one thing. But the target, according to what they said, was StarTimes Uganda Premier League, and them finishing in this table will see them go for playoffs, unlike the other season where only one team goes straight away, like how Calvary went that time and had playoffs and here and there. But this time around, it's going to be so interesting.
yes.
So I believe with all the challenges, with all what has come in there, the team is good to go, and they are preparing well. I want to thank the management of By the Black Angels for the initiative that they are putting so much to unify. And that is what I always call for, or what I cry for, because I want teams to now see how do we get together to of course make West Nile a superstar once again. Yes, the divisions has been enough. Can we get together and we put this together hand in hand? And those are one of the those are some of the things that for me I would say we should be pushing or looking into. So regional league is starting on 24th also. So you would be expecting a lot of things coming in from the 24th, where of course the Paidas and the Nabies are well prepared. But maybe this season is not the Navy we expected, and I don't see much from them anyway this season.
Yeah, exactly. In a few days' time, West Nile Regional League reverse fixtures will be kickstarting, as my colleague Owen has already said. And Nebi Central, it's true, this season has not been a good one for them, unlike the last two seasons, whereby we have seen them going at least up to the playoffs of West Nile Regional League. We are having so many stories on the decks to give to the viewers. This one takes our trend to what is happening in StarTimes Uganda Premier League. Remember yesterday, not yesterday, it was on Saturday, there was one game on the card in StarTimes Uganda Premier League. It was actually a derby, Lugogo derby, between Express and the team of KCA. KCA got all the bragging rights, a derby, winning the game by 4-3, and it has changed their position, taking their points tally to that's 23. I am talking about the team of KCA. Matches they won against their counterparts, Express. Still, Express is ahead of KCA. This is a team which did not start the season very well, but right now they are improving. I think at the end of the season they will finish in a better position.
Yes, a good one, but of course a bad news for them as the Mkono Gwabanji fans. I'm talking about Express. You have a challenge already. After, of course, they expected, the fans expected a lot from that is Express Football Club, because they didn't expect to lose the game after leading 3-1 in first half. Second half, the game ended 4-3. It was really a very bad one. Poor tactics that, of course, Alex Isagre used, but which, of course, didn't see him being insulted by different fans that came through India now, which has annoyed him. He is already threatening to leave the camp of Express. Maybe even he has left. Reports have it that he is not ready to stay at that is Express Football Club. Though it's not yet official, but already as journalists we have dug deeper. He is one coach who said, "I don't want nonsense. I'm tired of the insults on me, and I may not be with the team come again at the next game." So it is a very challenging moment again. Maybe unless they are going to plead to him to first remain. But reports also have it that he has a deal that is supposed to be, I think, in Zambia. So some of those things are the things that are coming in there. But of course, I think he had brought the team of Express to a limelight that people go for and know that this is cry for their money. So KCCA just went with the enthusiasm and, of course, put in a lot of what they needed. And their pedigree helped them a lot. To see that they won that game 4 goals. I did see the likes of Usama Arafat, the likes of Mohamed Shabbat, all on the score sheets, getting sure that made in there. But I think he also made poor tactics. I'm talking about Alex Isabire, because of how do you, the creative player there was Sali, the son to Bebe Cool. He was Alpha Sali, was one of the key names in that team that really gave hard time to KCCA, which of course tightened the team so much. And when he was pulled off, of course, KCCA got penetration because Alpha Sali kept the players not moving anyhow, and he was the one offensively dominating. So I think that is an error that he made. But all in all, you would still see that the team of Express really had a very good display, but only lacked the defense over the game.
Yeah, it's true the head coach has really changed the team of Express. In case he's going to leave, as you have said, it's going to be like a bad omen for the team of Express. I remember last season, this is a team which has struggled a lot. Even picking a mere point, a mere draw, has been something very difficult for the team of Express last season. We hope things are going to be solved amicable on the side of Express. Owen, I think the biggest story which is happening within the country of Uganda is all about the arrival of UEFA President. I am talking about Alexander Seferin, and this man actually arrived yesterday. He was accompanied by the football president of Slovenia, and come today at 4 p.m. East African time, they will be playing the parliamentaries of Uganda. That is the main reason as to why we have seen him in the country. It's not the first of its kind. We are receiving him in the country. Last year around March, he also came. It was for a different purpose. This year, again, around Feb, he has also come, and this time, it's just all about the football activities, which is making him to visit Uganda frequently, a good one.
Part of Africa, that is Uganda. Of course, everyone will want to be here. The atmosphere, the ambience at Uganda is one of the biggest things that you would always love to be part of, and of course, of which has helped the team in Uganda probably have adventure and get visitors. That is now the tourism bit of it. Of course, the tourism sector is going to benefit from that is the football or the sports now. You see, Parliament called in for this, and I did see him with Amson Obua moving around, trying to see. Seferin has not been here the first time. This is the second time. The first one he came. And now this time around, he has also come for the purposes of football. Yes. And this is one thing that we shall be waiting. They're having a game. The Slovenia team will be having a game with Parliament today at that is St. Mary's at Sitende. And we'll be expecting a very good game. It's with the X, of course, the X of UEFA. Yes. That will be coming right there. So I think it adds value to Uganda in a way that there's a sport-loving country that should be in there. This should be also an advantage because it becomes very easy for now such connections to lure development via football from the outside countries or from the neighboring countries and the rest. So I think it's a very good, or a positive and good initiative that they have gotten into the team. And I believe the team is going to be, the country should do a lot now and probably prove that Uganda, this is what we can do. One of them is the Pamoja bid that they are pushing for, which went successfully. Now they are waiting to see how they could be hosting the AFCON 2027. Of course, 2027, yes, in Uganda. Let's wait and see, but I think that's a good initiative.
Yesterday, he came up with a statement in form of a joke saying that the friendship ended yesterday. Today, they are meaning the business. And the legends of UEFA up against the parliamentaries, we are waiting to see what kind of result it's going to yield. And let's go to the biggest discussion in the continent of Africa. It's all about the conclusion of African Cup of Nations, which happened yesterday night, as we saw the host country, Ivorians, beating the Eagles, Super Eagles, Nigeria, by 2-1. They had to come from a goal down to see that they sealed the gong after a Kong, the defender for Nigeria, who is playing for PAOK Thessalonica in Greece Super League, had put the Eagles ahead. And being the host country, they had the pressure. According to me, Ivorians, to me, they were the better side than the team of Nigeria, and they deserve that. Before we dig deeper into the analysis of the whole session of 2023 African Cup of Nations, something little about what happened yesterday night.
I purposely refused to watch the game because I knew it was going to be a tough one. But I came and I watched the replays later on because I needed to rest anyway. The team that I was a fan of had already gone out.
Yes.
So I couldn't give more time. But of course, I followed also a little bit of the game later on. I saw how the team is. Yes, Nigeria scored first, the Eagles. But you know what I watched? They lacked the technicality.
True.
As a coach, you look at getting a goal fast. Don't park the bus very fast. Get also some creative, aggressive, pacey individuals who will keep still the defense line of an opponent not to move forward. because the more you go all defensively, they are going to kill you at certain time T, because all numbers will be now pressing you. So that is what Nigeria went for. You did say Osimhen not having a bigger impact, though they played good football, but the impact did not work out. Ivory Coast knew what exactly they wanted.
True.
And what they wanted is what they brought to push. So 7 games were remaining. They fired their coach after they were beaten 4. They knew what exactly was. Possession-wise, you saw how the possession was. And they were playing with purpose.
Yes.
I think it's in Africa that you have seen this is where it is happening. You fire a coach, you're the host nation, and you win the trophy.
Yeah.
So it's one of the biggest things. It's like a historical. And Ivory Coast, it really, really needed this. Because if they didn't win, it was going to be a shame, though they went up to that level. And the coach would say, maybe we fired me because I did this now. They have proven the coach wrong, whom they fired, and they have gotten in there now. The guy who scored them a goal is called Sebastian Haller, who was the last man who scored the goal. Remember, I had challenges some time back. In around July 2022, this man was diagnosed with testicle cancer.
Yes.
And he went for the surgery. After there, he had all that and treated that. But of course, in February 2023, he was ready for game to play. And that is one thing that made him probably put in there. He beat the cancer very well. Now, of course, in 2024, February, he emerged the champion, scored that late goal. That only goal to make sure that the team really progressed as the champions. Right there, 2-1 was the scoreline, and it is what has sent the team to the victory. That is what is there. And Didier Drogba was one of the happiest man around the world, celebrating crazily, talking a lot, and that has brought him. Remember, sometime back in 2007, Didier Drogba had to organize a friendly match in one of their states that had rebels to just end. So he calmed the situation in ending the rebel team. Of course, had to put their guns down, saying we have given up, came back to that. That is Didier Drogba for you. So he was one of the happiest, and of course thought football can still change a lot in the world.
Yeah, and it's true, the observations you had were very true. You look at the attacking force of Nigeria yesterday night, it was not all that a powerful attacking force. You look at Victor Osimhen, how he was performing. You talk about players like Lookman. You also mentioned players like Chukwueze, how they are performing. To me, it was not to the extent of a winning caliber. And you look at how Ivory Coast started in their group. They were almost eliminated till they needed Morocco to beat Zambia in their group to see that they qualify as one of the best third playoffs teams, to see that they proceed to the knockout stages. And reaching to the knockout stages, they have been performing extremely very well, knocking out some of the best performing countries. You talk about Mali, even to the extent of knocking out the defending champions in Senegal, and also beating countries like DRC in the semi-finals, and this time proceeding to the finals and winning the gong. And one player I want us to discuss about is the player called Casey. To me, this player has been a lucky person, a lucky player. Why have I said this? AC Milan had stayed for so many seasons minus winning the Scudetto, and he went to AC Milan and he won for them Scudetto. Coming to Barcelona last season, he was actually one of the integral figures for Barcelona to see that they cleansed the La Liga title. And now back to Saudi Professional League, and now coming to the biggest continental football we have, a tournament we have in Africa, African Cup of Nations, and first of its kind for him, again going back with a gong. I think he has been a lucky person.
Yes, of course. That's one of the things that as you achieve in life. That's why I say sometimes football has luck.
Yes, it's true. And also you look at the teams that proceeded to the third playoffs, South Africa. In fact, the teams that proceeded to the semi-finals, South Africa, one of them. You talk about DRC. I think they are very happy of the level they have gone up to. Like for South Africa, the last time they went up to the semi-finals was way back in 2000 when we are still teenagers, and also cleansing the bronze title by then after beating Tunisia. And it has stayed for so many years. And after winning the bronze medal, by then they have not been so much into the competition. This time winning it again, and for the DRC, they have not been so much into the competition till this year. I think they should be satisfied of the level they have reached up to. I think that one will add value into those players, and at the same time will help in changing their positions as far as FIFA ranking is concerned, and also expose a bit of it. I want to be surprised. Summer transfer window is coming when you will see so many players of South Africa, DRC this time going to the other parts of the world.
Yeah, true. Of course, that is most of the time Africa Cup nation is exposure. We have seen why do the Drogbas, where do this Sebastian Haller play? Like PVP, he has played there, but Sebastian Haller because of this. So one of the things that you could be seeing is that the talent that has been exposed through the Africa Cup of Nations. And one thing I want to say about the Africa Cup of Nations is that really the CAF has managed the VR very, very well. It's one thing that has changed the game of Africa Cup of Nations, which has even caused alarm from some of the coaches who say, at least I think VR offices should be at, that is the CAF headquarters, because Jose Felix Moreno is one of them. He says, here there's no favoring, here there's no paying money to the people managing the VAR system, and this is one thing. So he feels really VAR should be in Africa, and that is one thing that is there. But I really loved it. They managed the game. They really had no fear of favor. Just like I did tell you, a red card was supposed to be awarded to a player after to Sadio Mane. The referee could not. The Gabonese referee was banned off. Seriousness in the game. I think Africa, we really did best and proved that the people who even come with the technologies, we can do better than them. And that is one thing that has helped. Made me happy in the African Cup of Nations this season. We're expecting a lot more to come probably.
Yes, we are still discussing about African Cup of Nations. This one brings us to the individual awards. You take a look at some of the individual awards. The best player has been William Ekong, the defender for Nigeria. I did say he's playing in Greece Super League for a team called the PAOK Thessalonica. And to me, if I am to be the one to give the accolade, I will give it for Frankie Kessie.
Yeah, Kessie is the champion, but Ekong has done a lot. You've seen him score goals as a defender, probably pushing it up to that level. I would still give it to him. I think he deserved it. He carried Nigeria on his shoulder up to that level, and he has really proven to the many that, yeah, it's not all about that, but it's about carrying the team in his shoulders as the captain. He proved and, of course, made goals, and that is one thing for me. I would say he really deserved it.
Yes, that is the best player. Some people call it the most valuable player. Meanwhile, the best goalkeeper, the custodian, has gone to the SAFA, the custodian for the Bafana South Africa, called Ronwell Williams. To me, he deserves that because he has been the one, the pivot, pushing South Africa to these other levels through penalty saves. To me, he deserves that. I don't know if you might have gone for a different goalkeeper.
Yes, of course, two of them. Even the one of Nigeria was one name that I could be mentioning, but he really did a lot in the South African team, up to taking them even into that third, the best third in the league, and probably he was one of the outstanding performers to me. For that is as far as the goalkeeping department was concerned.
Yes, the best coach is Amos Faye, Cote d'Ivoire, comes from Cote d'Ivoire. He acts as the interim manager of Ivory Coast. Meanwhile, the best young player has gone to Simon Adinkra from also Ivory Coast. When you talk about the top scorers, Emiliano Nusu of Equatorial Guinea is the top scorer with 5 goals. Meanwhile, Gelson Dalla of Angola also scored 4 goals in the tournament. And lastly, Mustafa Muhammad of Egypt also scored 4 goals. Something about 10 to 20 seconds to summarize about the tournament before we talk about some of the breaking European stories.
Of course, I have nothing much to say about the tournament, and that's all what I had. Just loved the way it went on this time. It was fair, and I think every other team or countries enjoyed it. We are hoping for Uganda to reach there one time.
Okay, this one takes us to what happened in Europe, what continues to happen in Europe. In German Bundesliga, the team Bayer Leverkusen still continues its dominance to see that they remain unbeaten under new manager called Xabi Alonso. They overcome their rivals Bayern Munich by 3-0, and that win alone extends their points gap to 5 points with the Bavarians. And also in Italian Serie A, this time Inter Milan opened the points gap to 7. Mathias Juventus is playing a game tonight with Udinese. Meanwhile, in England, English Premier League, the competition title race is going neck to neck amidst teams like Liverpool, Arsenal, and the team of Manchester City. But the biggest win over the weekend was registered by the Gunners, as we saw them overcoming humble West Ham by 6-0. English Premier League, Owen, is getting so interesting.
Yeah, it's the best league to watch all the time. It's without English Premier League, other leagues tend to lose meaning. But of course, they are doing well. Arsenal having 6 yesterday past West Ham. Yes, David Moyes is the coach, of course, who is still doing the same after losing that. For me, I watched the game. It was one-sided. I didn't enjoy it. Though it was a nice performance or display from Arsenal, they could have scored more. I expected them to score more, but Arteta made quick substitutions to make sure that other boys also enjoy the game. But my biggest thing was the United game, which was, of course, on high pressure. Aston Villa played very well. United tried its level best, but of course, they really needed to prove to that is Aston Villa that it takes just a second to probably come back in there. One thing that helped them was this time around that Erik ten Hag did not make changes so much. He just made a clear changes that really needed to, which helped him, and Scott McTominay off the bench got the goal for Manchester United, which keeps them now at number 6, just a few points behind the Aston Villa itself. So I think those are the things that as a coach you should be always putting, because one thing that changes a game is the way you press, the way you put. I think he has started learning that certain players or certain characters don't need always to be pushed in the game just because you feel they should. One of them is Anthony.
Yes.
Of course, Anthony, I even feel United, if they send him away or sell him, it would be 1+ because the money was hefty, but he has delivered nothing.
Yes, the player which is impressing me so much right now at Manchester United is Rasmus Højlund. 3 games played, 3 goals with so many assists. That's Rasmus Højlund for you. And also we had a game between Manchester City and Everton on Saturday. We saw Manchester City beating Everton by 2-0. And also tonight we'll be expecting a huge game in London Derby as Chelsea will be hosting Crystal Palace. Apart from that, Liverpool also ran riot over Burnley, demolishing them by 3-1. In Spanish La Liga, we saw Barcelona playing a 3-all square with the team of Granada, and Real Madrid did lecture the team Girona, thoroughly beating them by 4-0, and now open the points gap between themselves and Girona to 5. Barcelona, they are suffering each and every time. Summarize about that before we actually highlight the viewers of what is coming in UEFA Champions League round of 16.
Yeah, right now, if you look at the La Liga, of course, you'd see that Madrid, as Ancelotti, has tried proving to the rest that it's all about what you need to take. Because if you don't get to what exactly you need to, you will always be proven wrong shortly when you don't expect. Girona has been on form, yes, but of course, their own form is with the different teams and the rest. I want to say some clubs have the pedigree, they have the culture of the game, they really feel this is it. Madrid always competes with Barcelona, and when Barcelona is no more, the rest for me, I don't feel them. It's a competition. I don't think they are going to dominate that. Genoa, yes, but now let's say it's their lucky day or lucky season, and next time you won't see them again. So I think even Bayern at the other side were doing well, and they are dominating the league. So I think these games are not so competitive to me.
Yes, exactly. Let's summarize everything with what is coming in UEFA Champions League. Round of 16 is bouncing back tomorrow. Tomorrow we're having 2 games on card, as we see FC Copenhagen hosting the defending champions called Manchester City. Apart from that, you also expect a game between RB Leipzig that comes from German Bundesliga, welcoming the Los Blancos, the masters of UEFA Champions League. I think tomorrow we'll also discuss vividly about the UEFA Champions League games, summarize about these games before we leave the screen for the next program.
Yes, most of the talks will be tomorrow. Of course, Champions League. I want to say a very good afternoon and have a very blessed day.
Okay, with that, we have come to the end of today's edition of Whistle Time. We'll link up again tomorrow for the same program of Whistle Time.